Yo guys, what's up? It's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So, I'm going to be going over the Devstream from yesterday, and it's quite a doozy as far as information is concerned. There's also going to be plenty of spoilers in here for the Deadlock protocol, and as well as for nightwave. So if you don't want any spoilers, feel free to not watch it. I'll be going pretty in depth on here, and I'll also be including lots of opinions. Like we'll be seeing the new rewards for nightwave. We'll be seeing a very small peek of the new game mode in Deadlock protocol. And we'll also be going over some other stuff as well, including all of Protea's abilities. So, yeah. But before we get into that, make sure you check out the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gas_ttv. I don't really stream super often, but, you know, when we do, it's fun. So definitely stop by and give it a follow. It's the heart button at the top of the screen. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into all the stuff they went over, and we'll be going in order of what they showed. So first off, we're going to go over all these Railjack changes. Really briefly, there's a couple things I can mention here, but the general gist of this, guys, is they're just trying to make it a lot easier, so it's more accessible for players. So I'm going to just quickly breeze over this. Double the vacuum range on the Railjack loot pickup, changing the pace of the Railjack piling, so they're going to make the normal speed of the Railjack a lot slower, or not a lot slower, a lot faster, but the boost speed of the Railjack will be much slower. So de-incentivizing using the boost for the Railjack and just making the base speed a lot faster. So good for that. I think that's a good change overall. Changed it so the arc wings are going to take less damage from ships and deal more damage to ships. So I think the Singus will still be top option. I don't see this change making crit builds viable still. But maybe if they reduced it by enough, maybe crit builds will be viable. Crit builds on arc guns have never really been the meta for Railjack, and we'll see. Like, they're going to also be nerfing the armor of the ships as well, the enemy ships, that is. So it could make it a possibility. And then minor inconsistencies between the ship main turret and the side turrets are being added removed as well. Ship combat changes. So all health, shield, and armor values are going to be applied to the ship now. So that means 25% damage reduction on shields, reduced armor probably they're going to reduce the armor of the Grineer fighters by half. Health and armor reduced for Grineer fighters. So maybe crit builds will be viable. I've said this every time they do a Railjack balance pass. Hey, maybe they'll make crit builds viable. No, it wasn't viable the last time. But with us getting this additional change right here of us dealing more damage and them getting halved resistances, maybe finally reduce or randomize the amount of fighters that will be available for exterminate missions. So it's not going to just always be 90 and guy endpoint. It might be like 70 or 80 or something like that. Not a big deal there. This is the big change right here. Decrease the amount of time between landing a kill shot on the enemy to them exploding. So it used to be it would take 1 to 3 seconds for the ship you just killed to actually explode. Now it's going to be 0.1 to 1 seconds. So these missions will go much faster if you're mowing down fighters really fast. Decrease the Railjack shield recharge delay from 5 to 3 seconds. So it's just they're making it much easier is what I'm seeing here. They're trying to make it so normal players can actually regularly clear these missions, and it's a lot less stressful feeling. So the shield will regen much faster. And moving on, we have the heat. Basically all the weapons, the Railjack weapons themselves, will build up heat much slower. We're going from like 20 to 12 on the APOC, 10 to 8 on the Carsonox. The Cryophon got only the Zekti version of the Cryophon got a tiny little bump. I don't know why they're so gun-shy about buffing the Cryophon again. Did they really get that offended when it was the meta for a while? Come on, guys. Like, I don't even think people are using the Cryophon really as much anymore. I use the Photor, I think it is. And they're buffing the Photor's heat accretion. It's going to be reduced from 10 to 8. So, good stuff there. Just making it so it's less annoying. The guns won't be overheating all the time like they do a lot of the time. On foot changes. So this is a big one. Rest in peace, Exo Goose Drag officers in the Simulacrum. Reduce the health of all on-foot Grineer Railjack enemies by half. So a lot of people that didn't have like rivened up, crazy, properly mounted weapons were probably having a really hard time killing those Railjack Grineer. So they're going to have half the health and armor they currently do. So, much easier there. They'll be pretty much normal Grineer at this point. A little bit tankier than like a Corrupted Heavy Gunner, the Exo Goose Drag Officer, after this change. And then they're also going to deal less damage than they currently do, because they also have a damage buff, apparently, compared to normal Grineer. Pacing changes, added caps for the simultaneous, so there can only be one Railjack hazard of each type on your ship at once. So only one fire available at once, only one electric, one hull breach, and they're also going to make it where these are more impactful to your ship. So the hull breach will be, I think it slowly drains health from your ship. I don't remember exactly, but those will be more impactful because they're only be one at a time. Increase the amount of Omni Revelite required to remove hazard events, but increase the XP gain. So you're going to see some stuff here. You're going to be getting a lot more XP in Railjack, so that'll make intrinsic grinding faster. Keep in mind, intrinsic XP is also increased by a affinity booster, just like everything else in the game that is involving affinity. Increase the number of fighters in all alert stages. Enemies now spawn much closer to the Railjack versus 1,000 kilometers away. Good. All these changes are going to make Railjack missions much faster. Going to feel more like Warframe, where you're like surrounded by enemies and you just get to blow them all away. So, moving on here. Second page. Long-standing issues with usability of Arcwing Melee has been fixed. So Arcwing Melee might actually be usable now, but we will see. Range mods will affect the aim assist lock-on range. Arcwing gun stats normalized. Space combat now uses the heavy weapon stats. Okay. So we can actually see what we're modding properly. Okay, sweet. And then moving on, systematic changes. The Kuva Lich Valiance transfer will be added to the Railjack weapons. So I actually have an image for you here. So what they're going to be doing is they're actually going to make it where you get to, so say you have two different Vidar reactors. One of them is going to have the bonus 10-0 gain, 50% boost of speed for 5 seconds when they deploy the Arcwing. The other one's got gain damage immunity for 2 times the amount of time after hull breach. You get to choose which passive you keep, but it will still increase the stats. So their final one is going to have, it's going to go from 99 to 100, and their flux energy is going to go to 99 as well, and they get to choose which passive they want. So they want to keep the damage immunity for 2 times as long after the major hull breach. It will also cost Dirac to do these fusions, so keep that one in mind. And then additionally, we have double affinity to intrinsic point conversion. So now you're just going to get intrinsics twice as fast, just literally. Increase the earned affinity on killing elite fighters and outriders. So, good. You get more affinity for killing the Railjack enemy ships. And now here's probably the best change of them all, at least in my opinion, is they're completely like simplifying the avionics, which are the mods for the Railjack. They used to have like three different manufacturers for a lot of them and all that kind of stuff. Basically, now it's just going to be there's one version of each mod for the Railjack. Wow, that took a long time. It should have never been like that in the first place. It was really confusing and annoying before. So now if you have Bulkhead, it's always going to be the good version of Bulkhead. There's never going to be like, oh, I got the crappy version of Bulkhead. Is that the good one that dropped there, guys? Like, I never was going to memorize those little indications of which one was the good one. So yeah, that's the thing. And then if you upgraded the other versions of these, you'll get your Dirac refunded, and it will be given back to you via script. All right? So that's enough time wasted on the Railjack changes. Those will be in the public test build that I didn't get invited to. Not jealous at all, but that's another rant video altogether there of how poorly they've implemented that. But let's move on to Protea's abilities. So they showed us Protea's abilities. Pablo went over all of them. If you want to see them in action, I'd recommend checking out the Devstream itself. But I've got the general gist of what's happening here, and do keep in mind these are subject to change. So here, we're going to go over all of them right here. So Protea is going to have her passive. Every 3 abilities she casts, the next ability afterwards, so every 4th ability will have increased power strength by 100%. That was what I said on the dev build, 100% additional power strength on the 4th ability cast. And her first ability is a grenade toss. There's 2 different versions. You get to choose between the 2 different versions of this grenade. The offensive version, you throw a grenade, it creates an area that is going to cause damage and slash procs to enemies in there. If you hold the button down, it will become a defensive grenade. So you throw a defensive grenade, and it will make it where allies in the area will get their shields charged up per second, and it can go into overshields. And in Pablo's words, it will also increase the shield gating period once your shields are broken, if you have that generator going. So that seems like a very powerful ability. And I do think that Protea will scale very well with power strength, which is good. I love when frames scale well with power strength. So you'll make it so you have bigger slash procs, make it so your shields are getting charged up really fast. Really seems like a good ability there. And getting additional power strength from your passive on those slash procs might be pretty nasty. Her second ability is, it is technically a turret, but I'm not entirely sure. It's a weird turret. So you're gonna place on like a little mini turret in a conal area. It will shoot everything in this cone, and it's like a temporary mesa. It auto targets all the enemies in that cone, and it will shoot them. Now, as far as we could tell in the video, it didn't seem like it would fire on the same enemy twice. But then again, all the enemies in the video died in one bullet anyway. And some additional things here. Every time the turret fires on an enemy in that range, it will increase its damage by 50%. So if you have like 10 enemies in the area, you're going to have crazy damage by the end of that firing spree right there. Additionally, in the video, they showed the turret seemed to do base heat damage, and we are not entirely sure of anything else besides the fact that it does base heat damage in the video. So that one also is going to be really good power strength, it seemed like. It was one-shotting like level 30 corrupted, which isn't saying much, but who knows what kind of build they actually had on there. Third ability, item dispenser, going to drop ammo, energy pads, and these unique health orbs, and that's going to be in an area, like it's going to basically be an item dispenser. And he said the more power strength that you have, the more that the drops will come out. So that will be a guaranteed way to get energy orbs, which is very valuable. You can get energy conversion to go off, gives you additional power strength. Health conversion from the special health orbs. The health orbs will heal 100 per, and then ammo is like whatever. Ammo is whatever, really. So another ability that will scale with power strength. Seems like the only ability that won't really scale with power strength is their ultimate, which we don't really know too much about. We know what it does, but there's a couple of factors we're not entirely sure of. So it's basically a time reverse for her ultimate, but it's not exactly like Tracer's. So you're gonna press the button. You're gonna, like, for on PC that'll be 4, and then once you press the ability button, a timer will begin. Once the timer ends, you will revert to where you were before the timer began, and all of your energy and health will be restored. Additionally, if you die during this timer, your death will be reversed, and you will basically teleport to where you started the timer. So if that doesn't have a cooldown, it seems like it would be infinite immortality, pretty much, because as long as you have energy, and this will refund the energy cost once time is reversed, it seems like you would just never die. But I don't know. There wasn't really a cooldown on the dev build they showed us, so I'm not entirely sure if she will be permanently immortal. Maybe. I mean, technically, Wisp can be permanently immortal if you spam the ability too, her second ability. But we will see. So she looks pretty good. She's also gonna have 2 alternate helmets at release. So I think they're like 75 platinum each, so 150 plat. So there you go. And that's Protea's abilities. All right, moving on. We're going to do some Deadlock Protocol stuff here. So I'm going to swap over to window capture here. And I'm going to show you... Actually, no. Before we get to Deadlock Protocol, let's go over these Nightwave new rewards. So they showed us all the new rewards for Nightwave. So starting at level 1, it's going to be these new crystal tokens. So as you see here... pretty standard Nightwave stuff. There's a new mod called Deadly Maneuvers at level 7. We're going to have a Kubrow skin, some Operator Ear cosmetics at level 10, a Melee Ruin mod at level 14, a Kavet skin at level 15, some more Operator cosmetics at level 18. Those earpieces look pretty nice. And then we're also going to have a Operator face mask, I believe, at level 22. And level 19 is going to have a polearm skin. Level 20 has a Dizzying Rounds augment mod. And then at level 23, you have Precision Strike augment mod. They didn't hover over these, so I don't know what weapons they're for. And then Umbra Forma at level 26. And then the final stuff is a Cyandana at level 28. A Shoulder Armor Guard, looks pretty cool, at level 29. And then level 30 is this weird, it's a new ship. A landing craft ship. So... Those, if you didn't know, the landing craft ships have abilities in this game, unlike Destiny, where it's just a loading screen. Now, if the ability is going to be good or not, we do not know. So I have a feeling it'll just be another terrible landing craft ability, just like all the other ones. Like some of them can be very, very minutely useful, but I'd say overall not extremely great. Hey, look, a challenge to complete 3 Railjack missions. That one's will be fun. But yeah, there's some new Railjack challenges in here. And then as far as additional rewards for the cred store, guys, we're gonna veteran players might actually have something to spend their Nightwave creds on. So she's gonna get there in a second. So if we look down here, they're gonna bring the Conclave like PvP augment mods. They're gonna rebalance them for PvE. So you can see right here, Atlas's Rumbler augment is gonna turn Atlas into a Rumbler, and he's gonna be it's balanced for PvE. So he's gonna have like additional health and stuff. So people have been asking for this for a while, and they're finally doing it. So definitely for right there, it's 20 creds. Save your creds for these, because if you don't want to play Conclave, like 99% of the player base, this is gonna be your best bet for getting these. And some of these might be pretty interesting. Like, what's that Ember one do? There's they're hovering over them way too fast. There's a super augment too, so I will be trying to buy all of those. And just a reminder, guys, we will be doing Nightwave tips and tricks videos for all of these. And there's actually another layer to Nightwave that I'm going to be showing off here in a second, where there's actually going to be, it's the murder mystery thing that Scott was talking about, or not Scott, Steve was talking about. So here, let me see if I can just fast forward to that really quick. So you're going to load into the cutscene for the Nightwave, and you're actually going to go, it's like if you ever played the Batman Arkham games before, you basically are going to be in detective mode, trying to find the evidence of what happened in the cutscene. So, see, Rebecca is like, okay, where's the clue? Where's the clue? She's flying around. It's basically like Forge mode, and look right there, and there's a sword on the ground. If you go over there and scan it, inspect that guy. All right, we already inspected him. There's a sword on the ground. If you inspect it, it's going to give you a clue to what's happening here. This seriously reminds me of Batman. I played the Batman Arkham Knight game like a couple months ago, and this is similar to that for sure. So that will also be the Nightwave tips and tricks video. So I might need your help on that one, guys, to find all the clues and include them in the video. So we went over the Nightwave stuff there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's go over the Deadlock Protocol for real this time. So we're going to have this new game mode. I don't remember exactly what they called it. Like greed mode, I think is what it was called. So you're going to get these tokens to drop from corpus enemies in the new tile set. And you get to choose which difficulty you want. And it's going to basically open this portal. And I'm going to pause here. They only were in here for like 2 seconds. It's a time trial kind of... See, 57 seconds remaining right here. Kill all targets. It's a time trial sort of thing right here where you need to kill these enemies that are moving around really fast. So there will definitely be a meta for this. We'll see if Mesa actually works here. And they cut you out of this real fast. So there will be apparently unique rewards here that are going to hopefully be exciting. But after you get all the rewards, you can turn in these tokens for either Fortuna rep by saving Fortuna residents from this ship, or you can turn in for credits, or you could turn it in for ship decorations. That's what Steve said. But they didn't actually show us too much about this stuff, for good reason. I don't like things being spoiled for me in this game. But, you know, when they show this stuff in the Devstream, I have to do my due diligence and report this. So, yep, we didn't see too much of that. And that is going to be the Deadlock Protocol new game mode. We'll see how much replay value that actually has. And you can bring your squad in there, they said. And now we're going to quickly go over one of the last things they talked about, which is the Jackal redone. And this looks actually pretty cool. So, Jackal is going to be redone. He's pretty high level in this, so I'm pretty sure this is a placeholder, because they're not going to have a level 50 Jackal for new players, are they? So you're going to fight him as... A lot of it's the same, but he's going to have multiple phases now. So you kill him in the first phase, and then you're going to stab him with the Parazon, and you're actually going to go to the next area to fight the Jackal again. So definitely a nice little rework right there. Not entirely sure if he's going to still drop Rhino. He probably will still drop Rhino. And yeah, I want to quickly just show you the cool animation they threw in here. I think this was really well done. Of course, this is more for new players instead of veteran players. So you jump on them, you stab them. So they're definitely trying to improve the early game and make it more integrated into the rest of the game. You're going to have your Parazon finisher on the first boss, and that will teach you that using the Parazon finisher on the Kuva Lich later in the game is going to be also a thing. So really, really cool there. I like those changes a lot. And let's see, did I forget anything here? We did the Protea abilities, we did the greed mode, we did the Railjack changes, and let me check Discord, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, guys. As far as my thoughts on the update, I do think it seems just like the Jovian Concord, where it's a tile work reset, a new frame, some new weapons, a boss, a new boss, not new boss, it's still going to be the Jackal. The Jackal thing will probably have absolutely no replay value for players like me, but for new players, that's really good for the early game, making a much cooler Jackal boss fight, and things along the line of that. My main problem is I don't think that the greed mode will have good enough rewards for me to be playing it constantly. It seemed like they gave us very minimal information on that. Steve, the only thing that we have as far as rewards are concerned is Steve said, once you get all the stuff you want out of greed mode, you can turn in the credits for Fortuna Standing and all this other stuff. So they didn't even tell us what the rewards will be from greed mode. So it's just speculation. I'm hoping it's like new mods, maybe some new arcane, something cool, but that remains to be seen. It's just complete speculation on that front for me. But yeah, that's my only problem is I don't know if there will be much for players to stick around in this update besides like, ooh, look how cool the the low-level tile sets look now. So that's basically be it for the video, guys. Thanks for voting on the poll for the next video. Of course, I'm going to get this video out because it's very fresh, relevant information before the Revenant video, before the Gauss video, Prime Chamber, Requiem, etc., etc. So keep an eye out for those in the next couple of days. And yeah, by the way, Borrow has a special Roomba today, or this weekend on PC. I'm not entirely sure about console, but yeah, it's a Borrow Roomba, costs 700 ducats, which is kind of expensive, but it does look really cool. So I might get one of those at least, even though I don't really like the Roombas as much, because they make really annoying noises. So I will talk to you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Take it easy. Make sure that you are staying healthy out there. And yeah, we'll see how long this lockdown goes on. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.